and good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, depending where in the world you are. I'm just going to refresh the screen, and hopefully it's going to show us live. And yes, we're live. So I'm just going to share, and I'm sharing out to my own page so that people can actually find us there as well. So I'm just going to say live now and post. Right, that's the housekeeping out of the way. And to everybody who's watching now, welcome. I just need to add one thing, and that is to edit the post. And we're not scheduled, so I couldn't do this beforehand. Right, so if you look at the top of the post, if you're on the Be Live in 5 page, you can now join us on screen, and you're more than welcome to do so. I'm just going to drop that down. I last heard from Tina 2.5 hours ago, so I'm hoping that Tina wends her way here. For the moment, though, if you do want to join, please just press the link and come in. If you are watching, can you tell me where you're watching from? And if you've any questions about growing your live tribe, could you add those as well? Okay, so let's keep it simple and straightforward. But you are more than welcome to come and join me on camera. And late last week, there was a change in the live video scene when Smile Time disappeared. Smile Time, we were using late last year, September onwards, when Blab closed its doors, we all went over to Smile Time. And now Smile Time has closed down, and there is a new system that has come in. And that new system, hello Tina, that new system is Pop-In. So I'm going to welcome Tina. So there are now 3, 2, 1, and Tina is here.
Yes, I'm
hello,
sorry.
Tina. No worries. I'm just bringing people up to speed on Smile Time's disappearance. Smile Time was a platform where we could go 4 people on screen and broadcast on Facebook Live, and they've just morphed. They've changed. They've closed down the Smile Time webpage, and we're going to have an entertaining show today as we are joined by Mr. Robert. 3, 2, 1. Mr. Robert Myers.
Hey,
Good afternoon, sir.
Robert.
Good morning, folks.
Good day to you. How are things?
Oh, they're wonderful. I have a day off.
Wow.
What is that?
I know.
Indeed. On a Thursday.
So it is absolutely terrific to catch some friends on a live program and say hi.
It's good to see you. You're broadcasting continuously, well, not continuously, but daily, aren't you? What day are you on now?
I'm doing a century challenge. Let's see, it'll be 83, day 83 today when I
All right. And one of your broadcasts,
do my program, whatever it is.
I think he froze up. Robert, you're breaking up.
Robert, if you could refresh and come back, but in the meantime, right, he moved. This is live video and anything.
Am I breaking up again?
You are,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to refresh and come back?
Yeah, I'm moving. I'm moving on my screen.
You're not on ours.
Right. Okay. We'll leave that. Pop in. I'm going back. Oh, bringed it. Right. Robert's back. This is going to be one of those shows. Hello, Robert. Oh, Robert, we can see a picture of you, but we can't hear anything, and you're not
frozen.
Moving.
Yeah.
Just a minute. We're going to try. Ah, right. Okay. And we now have Robert Myers 2.
I do.
Welcome.
So I think that
I don't know whether I'm up or not.
you are at the moment.
I got to close some resources. I have to close some resources.
I think Stephen was about to mention exactly what I was going to mention is a recent broadcast of yours that went a little bit viral.
Robert,
perhaps. I haven't seen the reach on it recently.
Well, you did something that we mentioned before, and that is
Looked at it in several days.
the delay is killer because you're talking over each other. But yeah, Robert, who's still freezing up, in one of his broadcasts, he did something that we've mentioned before, and that is to take something that's happening in current events and tie your broadcast and your content into that. And a lot of times you can kind of ride on the coattails of the event or the popular culture or whatever that's happening. And he did that with the Equifax hack. And I don't know where he is now, but the last I looked, he had like 7,000 views.
well, last time I looked, you had 11,000 views, Robert. What's the current count?
Stephen, I don't know.
I'll have to go look because he'll freeze up again if he goes.
Yeah, I can only have this window open. This time of day is really tough with my ISP.
Right. Okay. So everybody's online at this particular moment. Is it a shared line? Okay. I want to say hello to John and Vincent. Thank you for joining us. If you want to come on camera, either of you, then just press the button. The link's up above, as Robert did. And Tina is fast chasing your viral post, Robert. Did you know? Did you watch the audience going up? What was your reaction when you were actually live? And
Stephen, I'm going to go ahead and drop off, and it was great. I actually don't know that I had that large of a live audience, but there's been one heck of a lot of replay activity on it, and I really had no expectation of having that. It just it struck me when I read the article, and I wanted to share it out because I thought it was very important. And it certainly has caught the attention of a lot of people in Washington. A lot of people are really annoyed with Equifax.
Yeah,
and their mediocre response, sufficient response to it.
Yeah. I'm still looking through all of your live videos to find this one.
I mean, if you
challenge day 70 through 73, right in there, Tina.
Yeah. 72 comes to mind. Yeah, and John was saying you're frozen.
Yeah.
John, is it back yet? I know you popped in for a moment and disappeared again. Can you confirm that we are back live properly now?
Yeah, I think we're okay.
All right,
I
okay.
think Robert's still kind of choppy, but
okay.
I think we're
hey,
okay.
Do you want me to drop off and just monitor you guys on Facebook? Because you guys are frozen to me.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, if we're frozen, then yes, if you could drop off, it would be helpful. Okay, Robert.
Yeah.
Take care.
I'll come back and just monitor.
Okay. I'm going to say that Robert actually said monitor then. Yes, only Robert that was frozen. Okay. The rest of us are okay. That's good. Right. Just to finish off the story we started off with, and that's Pop-In. Pop-In is a new system, or newish system. Basically, you take a topic that you're interested in, you type the topic into Pop-In, and you can go live. And when you go live, as soon as two people join you, then type the topic to Pop-In. John, you've got me up in live. I can hear me twice. Live. As soon as two people join you, then type the topic to Pop-In. John, you've got me up in live.
Yeah, so we've got an echo.
I haven't got Facebook open, but I can hear you twice.
Yes, I don't know why.
I can hear me once now, and I want to say hello, Fernando. John would undoubtedly be back in a moment. Right,
so he has 11,100 and something. It just went away again.
Yeah.
That's views though. That's not reach. The reach is much higher, but on views, that's what he has. Almost. Let's see, almost 1,200 views. I mean 12,000. Sorry, or is it 1,200? I don't know. I can't get it to open.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay. Now, I want to finish this story. I started it, so I'll finish it.
I'm sorry.
Pop in is you type in a topic. It's on Android and iPhone, and then people will join you to talk about it. You need at least 3 people watching and talking for it to go live. It doesn't go out to Facebook. It's a self-contained unit, and that's where Smile Time has gone. So thank you, Smile Time, for everything you did, especially for Blabbing for Britain, and a lot of other shows as well. And we wish Poppin well. Right. Okay. Now, the other thing that's happening in terms of changes is that there's a changing of the guard next Monday on Be Live. Mm-hmm. Isn't there? It's a sort of poignant moment because Jeff is leaving Be Live Weekly, which effectively ends Be Live Weekly, and Joel Com is taking over the Monday show. Now, Jeff, I think, is going to be broadcasting on Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the end of an era.
Yeah.
Because we all popped into that show and had a well of a time. Mm-hmm. Actually, I've invited Jeff to join us today. I don't know whether he will or not, but he may do. He may do. To everybody who's watching now, welcome. This is Grow Your Life Tribe with myself and Tina. And last week we said that we would start growing our tribe. As proof of what we're talking about, that basically we're working from not only our knowledge of helping other people grow their life tribe, but we're actually going to do it ourselves. So,
well, and Robert's video is a great example of that because the reach on the post is only 1,095.
Right.
But the total video views are 11,151. So the majority of that obviously came from shares. He has 20 shares. And his page is relatively new. So the page itself only has, hold on a second, I'll tell you how many likes he has on his page. But it's a new page, and so the likes and the reach are low. So he only has 20 likes and 28 followers.
Wow.
And his video reached 11,000 people.
Okay, so the power of sharing.
Absolutely. And I tell people all the time, likes don't matter. They don't believe me, but it doesn't matter. It's vanity. But beyond that, it doesn't have anything to do with the reach of your content. Well, it has something to do with it, but it isn't like, it doesn't matter if you have 2 million likes and your content's only reaching 50 people. Who cares how many likes you have?
That's true. If it was down to likes, then some people that we know would have more viewers than they do. So likes is just one element in the mix. Right, let's start a grand tour then. And I've got a question which I'll pose along the way. We now have, since we last spoke, a Twitter account, and the link to that Twitter account is here. And if you're not following the account, then a call to action, a simple one, follow that account, and we'll keep you up to date on our shows and other people's shows on BeLive.tv. So I've just posted details of our Twitter account, and even if you're watching the replay, you can follow the Twitter account and be kept up to date onto what's going on. And I was hoping to make a grand announcement about how many followers we had. But, right. Okay. The account was started a week ago, and it started tweeting, sent its first tweet, and got its first follower. And we now have, if you look at that account, we now have 491 followers. So I was hoping to announce 500 on this show. So
well,
if you want to get...
Stephen's handled all of everything by himself for the last week with Twitter, because I haven't been any assistance whatsoever. I started a regular job on top of my...
Indeed.
On top of... When I say regular job, I'm actually working for someone else, even though I'm still working at home, on top of my own business that I'm doing. And so I'm still trying to get acclimated to that and figure out how to manage my time. And not doing a very good job, apparently.
Well, basically, over a period of time, things settle down.
They do. Yeah, it's already, after that first week, I'm heading into my second week this week, and this week has definitely been easier than last week, and so hopefully by next week I'll have it figured out. It'll be running much smoother, and I'll have my ducks in a row. But yeah, this last couple of weeks has been really hectic.
But the Twitter account is going, and it's got 491 followers, and that will only increase, especially when we're both working on it. So Twitter is one way to get the message out. And asked last week, did anybody use Twitter to promote their shows? And the answer was no. So I'm going to experiment with that and see what effect it has in terms of promoting a show, using Twitter to promote a show. I know the different audiences, but there is a mixture between the two at some point.
Yeah, it may lead a couple of folks over to their Facebook page to watch if they're really interested in the subject matter. But my guess is that you'll be more successful in promoting the replay on YouTube out to Twitter than you will promoting the live from Facebook. Yeah,
and Robert lost us and is back. We stream in two places. Hopefully, you must be in the right place, Robert, because we can see your comment. Right, okay. We best explain to... so Robert finally found us. Welcome, Robert. And the BeLive.tv shows 1,295 followers. Right. That's the official BeLive.tv account. And our first target is to get past them. Our account is, I'll just type the title in, is BeLive in 5. Although it's not, Twitter account couldn't be called BeLive in 5 because somebody else has got that. Somebody claimed it in 2011. So that makes it difficult. I mean, once somebody's claimed a Twitter account, you've got to actually convince them to stop using it in order to take it over, even if it's dormant, and it's not an easy process. So our handle is, in fact, I'm going to post this as well. Our handle is BeLive Courses, which is true, which brings us neatly on to Udemy and the course that Tina and I did together. And thank you, Vincent. Very quick, brilliant. Thank you. Because we've now got, I took a look this morning, we've now got nearly 2,200 students on the course, which is absolutely fantastic.
I think it's interesting and I know this about social media, but it seems to be true with Udemy as well. The more followers that you have, the faster it grows. And I assume that has something to do with the fact that your followers are sharing your content. And in this case, people see that other people have enjoyed the course and left really great reviews, and so they'll join. So it's a little bit more difficult to get those first couple hundred students or those first few hundred followers than it is to add on to that going forward.
That's so true. I mean, with the Twitter account, there was nobody. I had to actually get my first 100 followers before anybody started following back. This is there's a point at which you become credible, both on Twitter, Udemy, and Facebook, and that is when you've got a certain number of followers and people think they're serious about this. They're not pretending.
And you, something else that helps on Twitter is to put out quality content, obviously, that people not only share, but then they add you to groups. I know I've been added to several groups related to social media on my personal profile. And it really does help, because when people go to those groups, they just follow everybody that's on that group because they know they want to get, information on that subject matter that the group is built around. So it's just like doing Facebook groups. Same premise. So you're following based on a common, not a common goal, but a common topic or common subject that you're all interested in. So it's niche. So you don't have to go sort through everything that you're not interested in to get to the stuff that you are interested in.
Indeed, because it is sometimes it's an uphill struggle, but it's worth it, because when you reach the breakthrough point, then you're attracting people. And I've got a friend, Andreas, who lives in Frankfurt, and he has always said that the best way to market anything is not to push and sell, it's to attract. And when you reach a certain point, you are attracting people. Right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's a whole, that's a whole model that people follow, attraction marketing. And our friend Molly, who does all kinds of things on Facebook, her model is attraction marketing, and it's just offering value. It's giving people information that they can use, and so by offering them that for free, then in their mind, you are the expert. So when they need a paid service that you offer, you're at the top of their mind.
That's right. And Molly is just so good at it.
Well, it doesn't hurt that she's a showman. That's her background is in show business, and the most popular types of videos are entertainment, and even though hers are business related, they're still entertaining because that's who she is.
That's very true. And the other thing is that I think consistency as well. We've now gone to the stage where we have got 5 shows a week, and I'm just going to take that off the screen, and that means we've got, basically, we are broadcasting 5 days a week on Be Live in 5, and that is building our reach and our audience with every show. And if we look at the stats, we know that's true, and it's consistency, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, you have to be consistent, and if you take a break, as Stephen and I did, you almost have to start over when you come back. Now we have the benefit now of having 5 shows a week, and some of them we aren't involved in at all. So if one of us takes off for a couple of weeks, or one of the other hosts has to go away for a few weeks, then we still have something going all the time. Something we need to work on, since we're being transparent and talking about building our own strategy, is we don't have our branding consistent across the board on all of the shows. And I think that's something that should be consistent. So no matter who's hosting, we should have a custom frame, or our logo or whatever should be consistent across, so that everyone instantly recognizes this is a Be Live in 5 show. So we got to do that.
True. We've got a lot of things to do in-house. And there are people who can help us in some of the things we have to do, and we'll be reaching out to them in the coming weeks. But some of them we can do in-house, which brings us neatly onto the YouTube channel. And I think YouTube is one of the most difficult things to get going.
Didn't hear you. You hit your microphone.
Okay, YouTube is one of the most difficult things to get going on.
It's just. I don't know why that is. I want to say, on the one hand, it's because it's just flooded, with content, but Facebook is as well. So I'm not really sure. YouTube is not my my go-to social channel, so I'm not as familiar with it as I am some of the others. But yeah, I've started a channel on there for myself personally, and I've never gotten anywhere with it. So,
well, again, we've got to try and experiment. I mean, it is a question of consistency. I mean, all the shows that we're doing on Facebook are getting uploaded to the channel, and basically, it's a new audience. So, the YouTube audience go to YouTube to watch videos. They don't go there to post. They're not doing other things at the same time. They're there to watch good quality video. And that's where we've got the problem, because the Facebook video isn't the top quality.
right.
And if you broadcast direct to YouTube, then you gain high definition video. If you upload from Facebook, you're not. So content, of course, is king, and you want good content, but you also need good quality as well. I've noticed that if I do a live video on YouTube, it gets a better response than an uploaded video.
Absolutely. I think that's true on any platform, no matter what platform you're on. If you're doing a live video, you get more engagement, more response.
Right. So in that hope, I'm gonna post a link to our YouTube channel, because it will stay there forever. So here's our YouTube channel. If you have a moment and you feel so inclined, then you can visit our YouTube channel and subscribe. And we'll do a quid pro quo at this point. If you subscribe to us, we'll subscribe to your channel.
Yeah. And the good thing about YouTube is if you enjoy the Be Live in 5 content, and like we said, we have 5 shows, so it's not just Stephen and I, there's a variety of personalities and topics. But if you enjoy the show, YouTube is the best place to go and watch on the replay, because it's more organized. You know, you can go to our page and hit videos and go look at it there, but trying to find it through our page, scrolling through the feed.
Oh yeah.
It's
too tangled,
fun.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, John.
Hello.
Hi.
Right.
Can you hear me this time?
Yes.
We can. No gremlins.
No, I don't know what it is, but I think the gremlin was in Chrome, because in the end I've not got Facebook open at all, and now you can't hear me twice, even though the sound was turned off in Facebook.
Oh right. Okay. So
The moment I came in, I could hear you twice, Tina twice, and myself twice. You know, we had that this morning, though, didn't we?
Oh, we did. With
And then the
Mr.
bloke with the apple turned off, and everything went all right. You haven't got an apple, have you, Tina?
Mm-mm.
Tina's got both, haven't you?
I do. I have an Apple, but I use it for work, and I only use the only thing I use my HP for is live streaming and watching movies.
Oh, right.
Right now, John.
Notice anything different, Stephen?
You've been to the hairdressers, John. Since this morning. That's what you've been doing this all afternoon.
No. I've been in the blooming loft at a factory until 4 o'clock, but never mind.
Right. Okay. Right. When you have a new client and you're starting a Twitter account for them, what steps do you take?
What steps do I take?
Yeah.
I get as many of my mates as I can to sign up. And then I get them to tell all their clients. It now goes on the bottom of everything that goes out of the building.
Okay.
So every invoice, every quote, every piece of literature has, please come and sign up to our Twitter account. And then I tweet every hour for them.
Consistently?
Every hour, every day.
Manually?
No, good God. I have got nothing to do all day. I use Post Blazer to tweet.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. So what do you...
I know I'm up to 1 o'clock most days, but I'm not doing it every day.
So what do you...
I've got 160 tweets.
Okay.
That are product oriented. Okay. I've got another 45 or so tweets that are marketplace oriented. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I retweet other people who retweet us, basically. So there are six organizations. I won't call them customers because only 2 of them are customers. And in fact, the other 4, they're probably customers of them. I'm talking about the one I'm working on at the moment. And the real key to success is finding some retweeting pals. Yeah, they'll retweet you, you retweet them. Yeah. And that makes a difference to your number of views dramatically.
Well, and it sounds like, I don't know your industry, but I'm assuming that.
Well, I'm an IT guy. I do social media I'm a marketing person, really. I say I'm an IT guy, but my background is IT. And the client that I'm talking about at the moment sells pots and pans and kitchen sinks.
So it's a niche, was what I was getting at, is that you have a niche. So.
It is a niche, but his target market, they also sell boxes that you keep stuff frozen in that goes into the camping marketplace. So it's multiple niches, if you like. Right. To do well with the camping people, I found 2 people who post a lot, who tweet a lot, and started retweeting them, and then they started retweeting us. And I find that really a successful way forward, is to sort of build a relationship, really. Although we've never really spoken to each other, because I will retweet them, after a while and they see their figures go up, they return the favor.
Well, and it is, if you have a niche, then it is easier to locate those brand ambassadors for you. If you're very broad and anybody could be your brand ambassador, then you can waste a lot of time looking for those people. But
to make things go. I mean, for instance, when I took this account over, I've been running it for about 14 months now. When I took this account over, if they posted 7 days, tweeted 7 times in a month, that's probably an exaggeration. And the audience was in the 20s for each tweet. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe in a day they might get 50. Yeah. The current, I looked at the stats not long ago. We're hitting anywhere between 5,000 and 8,000 views a day.
Right. That's a big
it's taken time to get there.
Yeah.
But everybody says, "Oh, you tweet the same thing multiple times," but by the time it's rolled round, it's like once every 10 days, so you don't really get to recognise it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the old thing, when I went to first started in marketing, which was a long time ago, the old adage was you had to be seen 13 times before anybody would take any notice of you.
Well, to that point, I did a video with Dan last night, Dan Nelson, who John and I know.
I saw the posting. I saw a few minutes of it, but I haven't actually had a chance to watch it yet.
Well, there's a call to action with it, John. To explain, Tina, our friend Dan, 7 years ago, decided that he would change his business. He was in hosting, server hosting, and he had his own servers and he used to rent them out. Then he decided that he and his wife, or his wife told him that they were going to go and make chocolate. Okay.
That sounds a lot more fun.
So he started say hello to Miles. Dan started his own chocolate factory with Paula, and they started off in the kitchen, and they started making chocolates, and it was just one product. It was called Yummy Scrummy, and it is raw chocolate. It's nothing like you can buy normally in the shops. You've got to go to a health food shop to buy the chocolate, because this chocolate is good for you as opposed to a chocolate which might not be. And they're now celebrating 7 years. They've got their own factory, which I've been lucky to visit, and they now want to go back and revisit the packaging that Yummy Scrummy came in, because they designed it themselves 7 years ago. And to use Dan's words, it's a bit amateurish and a bit tired. So they've decided that they're going to crowdfund it. So they're going to go crowdfunding for £7,500 or $10,000 to actually buy new packaging. And if you join in the crowdfunding, then for £10 you get something, for £25, £50, £100. And they worked it all that way. Anyway, that's a long story to come back to the fact that yesterday, Dan and I were on video about Thunderclap, which, as we all know, on a given date will send out tweets and Facebook posts on your behalf from friends. And what you've got to do is you've got to persuade 100 people to sign up and post out on Facebook and Twitter. So we did the first video last night. We'd like both of you to guess how many people signed up. Good. That's the answer. Nobody did. which goes to John's point that you do have to sort of get your message out there as many times as you can without annoying people. That's my tale of the day.
Alongside that activity I do for Catering Equipment Limited, happy to name them, I also send out about 30,000 newsletters a month, but it's a really neat HTML newsletter.
Yeah, it's graphically gorgeous, John. You should let Tina have a copy of it, then she can see what you're talking about.
It's taken us a while to get there. What we first sent out as a newsletter looks so crude compared with what goes out today. Yeah, but the only way to succeed in social media is to keep at it.
Absolutely.
And not be put off by somebody saying,
Nobody's
why do you have to keep sending me your message? Well, the answer is, if you don't like my message, block me.
Or better yet, share it with someone else. They might like it.
Yep. I mean, please share is very powerful 2 words. And if you are enjoying the show, then please share.
But you were right about vertical markets and niches. 2 of the people that regularly retweet them are community I'm going to call them community organizations, not trade organizations, because they're one of them is about hygiene, and how you can get all your hygiene certificates. But the relationship there is that my customer advertises in their newsletter, paid adverts in the newsletter. But the other organization is a street food organization called Street Zine. And we tell people that they can, go and find the kind of products that we sell at these, and also every month they do a list of markets that you can find their clients at, and I always make sure to retweet that so that they've got something of value in return for supporting us.
Yeah, and I think that's important, is offering them, like we said before, is giving them something of value. And when people find value in things, they will share because they feel like their friends and colleagues are going to find value in it as well. So I put in our team chat my email, so you can send me that newsletter. I'd love to see it.
I'll send you a copy of one of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you noticed anything, Tina?
What do you mean?
Look at the shirts.
Oh, you match.
Not quite.
I didn't get them.
This was purely accidental, and John's is darker than mine, but it was noticed this morning by one of our viewers on Blumming for Britain, and he described it as matching tablecloths. So I don't think you'll be seeing this shirt. Well,
I'm glad they're not pink, otherwise we'd be accused of being in gingham, wouldn't we? But
oh yeah. But we won't.
Anyway, look, I better let you get on with your program.
Okay. All right. Cheers, John. Thanks for joining us.
Lovely to see you and your colleague from the Bay City Rollers, but you can explain to her what I mean by that.
I'm intrigued.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're intrigued. Okay. Have you heard of a pop group by the name of the Bay City Rollers?
I've heard, yes, I have. I don't know how or where, but yes.
Yeah, and the song of the title called Shang-a-Lang.
I don't know, maybe.
Google it, because
I'm trying to Google chocolate right now.
All right, okay. If you multitasking, yeah, I mean, it's basically, people do word association, and every time that John sees us live and he watches more than he joins in, he sees your name and thinks
He thinks it's a song.
role. I think the song. No. Okay, and just to explain to everybody who's watching, we are Stephen Healy and Tina Shane, and if you're in the UK, then you remember the song. Because I don't think the Bay City Rollers came to the States, did they? That's a long time ago.
I don't know. I know the name of the group, so
Yeah.
but I don't recognize the song name. So maybe there's another song that was popular in the US by then, because I do know the name of the group. I was born in 1971 though, so
what? It would have been when you were young.
yeah.
Let's put it that way. But it's called Shang-a-Lang, and if you
I've got it pulled up, so I'll listen to it after we're done.
Don't do that, no.
I've got it pulled up and Yummy Scrummy pulled up.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well that's all right. Okay, Miles is confirming that yes, in the States a long time ago, which it was a long time ago. But it's one of those songs that once you've heard it, it stays in the memory. So there we are. We'll go on to music. Right. Okay. Now, my point. I've got 2 points. If we come back to Twitter for a moment, in building the account, I did some retweeting, but I didn't do it carefully enough, and I retweeted something that was once something which I shouldn't have retweeted at all, and the other thing was out of date, because it was an announcement about Hootsuite made in July 2016, which been retweeted by the person who wrote it. And I can only assume that they've got it on some sort of automated system. So I'm going to be checking out all the links before I tweet. Do you think that's the best policy?
Yeah, I think you have to, because people also, what they say in the tweet doesn't match up with the link.
Well, yeah.
So you never really know what you're sharing if you don't check it out first. I have to be really careful with that because, Stephen knows, but some of you viewing may not know, I do social media management for funeral homes. So I would never, ever dream of sharing something without going to the link first.
Well, that's it. It's corporate. And I've got to take the same position on Be Live in 5. And it's not a personal account, and I shouldn't be tweeting about cricket or soccer or anything. I should sort of tweet in relation to the account, in the context of the account itself. Which means live broadcasting, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. So I got that in mind. So I wouldn't retweet anything that's off topic, as it were, unless it's a funny tweet. Yeah. I think that one that is, well, it's just funny. And the second thing, the second thing that's come up, I was about to announce a few seconds ago that since we started the show, we'd gone from 491 followers to 493 followers, which is good. It's a coincidence, but it's good. But now it's back at 492. And this is the thing. People unfollow more than they used to, don't they? Mm-hmm. There are people who are actually just collecting the numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I think some people will follow... they'll follow you, and then once you follow back, they'll unfollow. So I think there's some of that happens as well.
Yeah, within seconds. It's automated. It must be. Yeah. Now then. Okay. Shows. We've done the show card, so we know what's coming up. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. is Ask Angelica, which is the German language program, and I'm going to prepare for that later tonight. And at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow is myself and Bridgetti taking questions and answers that we should take from the Belivers group. And there was a post in the Belivers group today suggesting that it was better to go just live on Facebook rather than use Belive.
Yeah.
And one of our brethren got slightly upset at trying to do a comparison between the two because it's like comparing apples and pears. Mm-hmm. on the whole, I think Be Live are getting it right, aren't they?
I think so. I wonder if you'll ever be able to compete with the native in anything, because obviously they're going to favor their own platform. I mean, that only makes sense. Anyone would do that. So, but what you get in terms of production quality and the ability to add elements to your production, you don't get that with your standard Facebook native platform. And so it really just, I guess, depends. Are you just going live and it's just you, and maybe you want to have that one other person come in and you don't care about, having any kind of production elements to it? And by all means, just use that if it's easier for you. It really just depends on you and what you want, what your goals are, and how you want the finished product to look. You can't compare, like you said, it's apples and pears. You cannot compare the two. They're completely different, and I think they have completely different audience in terms of the users of the product.
Well, that's true. One is broadcasting, but BeLive.tv at its heart is networking, because you're actually involving everybody who's commenting. You're actually featuring them on the screen on Facebook Live. And it's the production values, as Tina said as well. Miles, if you want to join us on camera, the link is up above. It'd be great to actually talk to you. And that's
not something you can do on the Facebook native platform. If you and I are here speaking, we can't invite someone else to join us.
No, indeed we can't. And we can accommodate up to 10 people watching from the lobby here on Be Live, and then we can bring people in one by one onto screen. And that's a brilliant feature, which works rather well. We had 5 people in the show on Tuesday, and that got quite hectic. Swapping people in and out. I ended up myself in the I was down in the lobby. The conversation was taking place in the broadcast section, and I was down in the lobby just listening.
And that's not something. That's also something you can't do with the Facebook native app. To be able to pull yourself out and to let the audience who is now engaged with one another continue the conversation, it is an amazing thing, not only in terms of the platform allowing you to do that, but in what you've achieved in making that happen with your audience becoming engaged enough that you don't even have to participate. You can just manage.
Miles, that's the best reason for not joining us that we've heard in a long time. You're in the back of a taxi. It's not a good idea. Maybe next time. We're on at the same time every week, 12 p.m. And hello to Bridgetti. Bridgetti, if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to just pop on camera if you can. We've got 10 minutes to the top of the hour, and it'd be good to get together and have a chat. Right, so next week we're going to be pushing the Twitter and the Facebook and the YouTube, and we'd welcome your help in doing that. And it would be good to get people involved.
And we'll be working on making sure our branding's consistent across all of our shows, right?
Well,
even if it's just the Be Live and 5 logo, make sure everyone has that.
I mean, the logo we've got at the moment is the Be Live logo, apart from on YouTube where it's not. Yeah, so I take your point. We need to standardize, and you know very well that I admit to being graphically challenged, so that just looks good to me. And it got a few likes, but yes, we should be consistent across the whole of the brand, and I think that's wise advice for everybody to be consistent.
Be Live gives us a really simple way to brand our broadcast with our own logo and a custom frame, whatever we choose, and our custom colors. Yeah. But since we have multiple guests and multiple shows, we have to make sure that everyone has those elements to plug in when they go live, so that it can all look the same across the board. And we haven't given those to people.
No, we need a frame, don't we? We waste. I'm going to put this up. I did it by accident, but we need a frame. You can't see it, Tina, but I put a frame around, and it's not one I did. It's one of the standard ones.
Yeah.
A frame around the screen with Be Live in 5 at the bottom. So
Yeah,
we need to have a group meeting.
Even just no frame and using just the logo with custom colors. So you could just use, a lot of people don't like the frame. So if you don't like the frame, just use your logo and pull, the hex codes from your logo and make those your custom colors. So everything matches throughout. It's really easy to do.
Indeed, and branding. Let's plan ahead, Tina, shall we? Because we always get together on a Thursday morning. We say what we're going to talk about today. Next week, shall we talk about branding?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, there you are. So we're going to, next week's show will be about branding. If you have any thoughts on that, then please bring them to us and join us live on air. That's right. I just got a message from Yehudit, which I shouldn't be distracted. I always tell people to actually concentrate on the show, but when you've got messages coming in, well, that's another show we could do. Concentrate on what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person to ask to do that because I'm that person who's really distracted by everything. So I'm a bad example for that show.
And we say hello to Bridgetti. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
How are
Brilliant.
you?
We're good. We've just done sort of 50 minutes of the show.
Bridgetti and I are matching opposite.
Oh,
she has on the
Where's
red
John?
and black, and she's black and red.
Oh my goodness! I caught the tail end now. I heard you were talking about branding and standardizing, which is a good idea.
Thinks it is because I'm rogue. I go and do my own thing. So we're going to put our heads together and we're going to have branding which is consistent on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, which is a good idea. And for each of the 5 shows, we're going to have a show card simply with the logo on so that we can all use it. What do you think?
Okay, I think that sounds like a good idea. I'm seeing something strange now. If I'm looking at my picture, who's hosting? Tina, are you hosting or is Stephen hosting?
Stephen is.
I'm hosting.
Okay. So if you look at your picture, Tina, I have got, when I look at my picture in the production studio, I seem to have a red line above my head. Are you having that?
No.
Okay, that's weird.
No.
Oh, right. So you think there's been another enhancement to Be Live?
I don't know. Normally you've got that section in the screen that indicates where the picture's being cut off to show what part of you. Yeah. So that's normal. But now I've got this red line above my head. I'm wondering, what is that?
I actually see a slight red all the way around my box.
Oh.
It's just a very faint, almost like a drop shadow that's red. That's all the way around my
Actually,
box.
now that you mention it, it is all the way around, but it's not all the way around the entire frame. Mine's kind of cut off just above my head.
Yeah, mine's around the frame, so I'm not sure. Mine actually is around the frame.
Right, and
Okay.
I hadn't noticed it before, but it could have always been there.
It could have. I'm only noticing it because mine's cut off slightly. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, and John said it's always there when you're the third person.
You get penalized if you're the third person.
Yes.
Well, what I really like, Bridgetti and I've got a wish list, and it would be the 4th person on screen and video on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because 4 people on screen, it would give us more options. And video on demand, we were talking earlier about the difference between Facebook and YouTube, and you can't really repurpose a Facebook video because it's low resolution. Whereas
exactly,
you go direct to YouTube and record it, and it's perfect.
Yeah, it's frustrating because the audience is here. At least our audience. I mean, we're Be Live in 5. We promote the Be Live platform, which is specifically for Facebook. So our audience is here. And it's frustrating that we can't share out to other platforms that, may lead more people back to Be Live and become consumers of the product. And we know that we can do that because we've done that with Udemy. We've led people from Udemy who never heard of Be Live back to Facebook, and they use this product now. But you can't do it. You can't do it with YouTube because people are so accustomed to seeing the high quality video. I mean, they don't even bother to see what the content is when they open it up and it's not good quality. They just move on.
But Facebook's done some updates in the last couple of days. And I've noticed there's been an improvement in the quality of the video. I don't know if you've seen anything or noticed anything.
I noticed that the quality of the live is improving all the time, and yes, it has in the last couple of days. So that's all to the good. And I think when we were talking, we were saying there's a lot of big players being enticed into Facebook Live video. Will they actually have to go HD?
Yeah, I would assume that to be the case.
I think they will, but it may only be for those high-end players that are bringing them money. For the shows that they're promoting, then those I'm sure will end up being in HD. But let me turn my phone off. Sorry about that. But will they have a need to download in HD ever? Because the point is for people to consume the product here without leaving it. So they don't want people to take the product off of Facebook and go do it somewhere else. So I don't know that we'll ever have, that Facebook will ever need to have the need, or feel the need, I guess I should say, to provide us with an HD download because they don't want us leaving the platform.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's no incentive really for them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We have a question from Miles, who's in the back of a taxi, by the way, Bridgetti, but he is watching us and he is typing in. And his question is,
I heard that. But
have you tried converting the video into text in order to repurpose it?
We have a friend who does that. Using Google Translate, right?
It is using Google Translate. And her name.
It's not Google Translate. We're not translating.
Sorry, so Google
Voice.
Google Voice. Yes. Google Docs and Google Voice.
Actually, Facebook does that natively as well. I've used it.
It doesn't do it well for Southern people, I will tell you. Doesn't know what I'm saying.
Oh, hang on. You know what? There's a setting that you can go and put in your country, so it'll use your version of English, if you will.
Exactly. But being Southern in the U.S., trust me, they don't know what we're saying. People up north don't even know what I'm saying. People who live in New York are like, what?
People in UK and South Africa understand every word.
Well, Google has a hard time. The more that you use Google, the more intuitive it gets. I guess it learns. And so it learns what you're saying. I don't know if that's true for Facebook, but anytime I'm trying to do a Facebook or a YouTube and have it put my captions in, it's hysterical. I mean, if nothing else, it's entertaining. It's nowhere close to what I'm saying.
Well, we have just as much fun here. We've got another local language here, and Google seems to have the urge to constantly translate that into English, and of course, it's hilarious.
Go ahead.
Angelica, sorry.
Go ahead.
Angelica has a problem when she does a document which is part in English and part in German, or she does a video. Say she does a video on YouTube, and part of it is in English and part of it is in German. When it comes to getting Google to transcribe it, then it loses it totally.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what was the website that was just shared with us for translating? Did you see that comment come up?
I saw it briefly.
Yeah, it's temi.com.
I'll have to check that out.
Yep, surely.
I'll try it as well.
We like trying new things.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Miles. Right, now, I noticed a change on the BeLive.tv page this week, the main one, front one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is. It says, and I quote, 127,716,234 engaged viewers. And it keeps going up.
Well, I'm guessing that that's the amount of active viewers at any given point. I don't know.
I don't know if it's
that's my guess.
All of the views. From
or if it's cumulative, I don't know.
I wonder if it's cumulative, because they can see. I mean, obviously they see the shows that we do and what our viewer count is, because we can go back and look at it in our stats that are provided to us on the Be Live page. And so I don't know. I would like to know if it's cumulative. I would imagine that it is, but then again, it may not be, because you have heavy hitters like Mari Smith that that could conceivably hit 1 million engaged viewers on a single broadcast.
Right, and John's had a look at the tmi.com site, and it's 10 cents for transcriptions from video to text, 10 cents a minute. So if you've got a 30-minute video, then that's a quick bit of maths. That's $3. So you've got to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good to know. Thank you, John, and thank you, Miles. Well, that's another hour. Well, that was good. That was good. We were joined by Robert. Robert, thank you for joining us on air. John, thank you for joining us there. Bridgetti, thank you.
Big pleasure.
Well, I'm looking forward to our show tomorrow. And Tina, would you like to close us out for today?
Oh my goodness. Well, yes, I would like to invite Bridgetti to tell us where we can find her, aside from the Be Live in 5 show that we know is coming up tomorrow. Where else can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook as Bridgetti Live, and you can also find me as Be Live Media on Facebook.
How's that spelled?
That is with a B and then live. B being my first name, Bridgetti, and then live. So Be Live Media.
And Stephen?
You can find me everywhere. Just type in Stephen Healy anywhere. And,
it's absolutely true. And you can find me, Shane Consulting, on Twitter and Facebook, and pretty much with Stephen everywhere too. So we invite you to check out the rest of our shows this week. We have one more coming. This is Thursday. For some reason, I feel like it's Wednesday. So one more this week. Tomorrow
we have
Kitty and Stephen, and then we will see you back here, Stephen and I, on Tuesday for.
And we shall. Yep. And don't forget, Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK, is the last ever Be Live Weekly show with Jeff Adams. We'll see you there for Tea Time with Stephen, and of course with Jeff Adams, and the handover to the new host of the Monday show, Joel Combe.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I have a feeling there'll be a lot of folks that show up for that last show, so make sure you tune in for that. And we'll see you Tuesday. Thank you all.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Right, ending the broadcast, and